Headline: Woman raised white learns her father was black and she was conceived at a swingers party. Headline alone tells you she's been through some shit. Decided to take an at-home DNA test in 2016. She was hoping to learn more about her parents. As far as she knew, they had immigrated from Denmark to the United States. To her surprise, the outcome test revealed that a quarter of her DNA most likely came from West Africa. A few years later, Jacobson took another at-home DNA test as if she couldn't believe the first one. This time with 23andMe. Well, I guess now both services have her DNA and they can both clone her at any time they like. The service matched her to a black woman the company said may be her first cousin, so it got worse for her. Jacobson and the woman got in contact and compared their DNA samples. From there, they set up a family tree and soon came to the conclusion that Jacobson's biological father and the other woman's father were brothers. It was a hard pill to swallow for Jacobson, clearly because she's racist. I would be over the moon if I found out I wasn't 100% Danish. Who wants to be 100% Danish? All I know about Danishes are the Danishes at the diners. You know, you get yourself a Danish. You know when Belle wanted a Danish, right, in Goodfellas right before they killed Maury? That's the only thing I know about Danishes. Jacobson, now 70 years old, when looking back at her childhood in New York City, she remembers there was always a level of dysfunction. It was the 50s and 60s, and my parents were liberal progressives. Oh, I bet they were. Adding that her parents would often leave her with the babysitter while they enjoyed jazz in Harlem. Okay. They often sent her to her neighbor or cousin's home to sleep over, explaining that they were having friends sleep over. She learned that it was code for swingers parties. Of course it's code for swingers parties. You sleep over at a friend's house if, like, you're drunk or you're too tired to go home. But if you're I'm going to sleep over at my friend's house, there's some fucking going on. Hate to burst. Are your parents doing this? Your parents had people sleep over and you were somewhere else. Your parents are swingers, Bobby. I hate to break it to you. Maybe we'll find out some things about you. Why don't you get a DNA test? Jacobson found herself quarreling with her mother's lover. What? Which he dropped a major... Oh, so no, she was arguing with the lover at some point, not even knowing what was going on. He said, what do you know? You don't even know that your father's black. She remembers him. Oh, damn, he did a drop the mic moment. And that's when Jacobson's mom jumped up. Oh my God, you promised to never tell. Okay, see, this is trauma. Right? This is trauma. She was told outright by the person who was most likely her dad, you don't even know you're black, you Danish little girl. And she lived a whole life, at 70, finally doing a DNA test, still was surprised that she was 100% Danish, so she definitely buried that down. But she was able to have a normal life, though. She didn't let that ruin it. Knowing that her mom was wild in that way and that she was conceived at an orgy, which must hurt. You weren't conceived by the love of your parents or a teenage mistake or a drunken, slip up, like not the traditional way of being conceived, which I think is much more socially acceptable, but you were conceived in an orgy or a continued affair that came from an orgy. Apparently the father always had a problem with this, but still continued raising the kid, which, once again, what a great guy. What a good guy. He knew the rules, all right? I didn't know there was a rule where you raise the kid that's not yours that was made from the orgy, but he did. There was another man out there who raised a kid that wasn't his. And a woman just showed up pregnant to him going, I'm pregnant. And I kind of don't know who the father is, but I kind of know, but he's not around. But I need help raising this kid. And I know you love me and I'm sorry that it's not yours, but I'm having this kid. Will you raise this kid with me? And this man said yes. You know who he was? He was Joseph, Jesus' father. Sketchy story. But shout out to Joseph, he believed her. after some convincing for some angels, but hey, still nonetheless raised this kid. And you have to think, there were times where he would look at Jesus going, I swear to God, like, ugh, this kid's kind of annoying. Like, come on. Every parent thinks their kid's annoying. And especially Joseph, like, this kid's always running around the temples. I can't find him. I can't get him to do any kind of carpentry ever, And when we are doing carpentry, he takes all the shortcuts and just magically makes all the, instruments dance and shit like a Disney fucking movie. And bam, he makes a chair, There were plenty of times Joseph wanted to go, if you were my kid. But in this situation here, this Miss Jacobson, she should feel great. She now walks alongside Jesus as popular or people who were conceived through odd ways, but still made the best of it and did not let that trauma stop them. Look what Jesus did. His dad was never there. Never around. Didn't speak to him until like the end. He never popped in going, hey kid, what's going on? You want to go like to the park or something? Want to take a ride around on his little donkey I gotcha? Let's go to the fair. God never did any of that. I bet you this Mr. Jacobson did that for his daughter, knowing damn well it wasn't his. He kept the secret too. Now this lover's really the asshole. Because how could you tell the kid that? You don't even know who your father is. That's messed up. And the mother's even more fucked up for not telling the kid. How do you not tell a kid? A kid has a right to know who their parent is, especially if another guy is paying all the fucking bills in the house. They could learn to be appreciative of that other guy paying bills in the house. There were probably moments where he's raising this girl and, she's out past curfew and his mind going, I don't gotta deal with this shit. She's not even fucking mine. But I am, because I'm a good man. I am, because I am as God made me. A loyal servant. A good man. Thinking outside myself. Tending to a child